Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, NASCAR Cup Series M&M's Fan Appreciation 400 from Pocono, the Tricky Triangle. 400 miles, 160 laps from Pocono, 3 stages, 30, 65, and 65. This is the 89th race in Pocono in the Cup Series history. Alright, last year we had 2 Pocono races. Pocono is a unique track. It's the only one in the world like it. So normally when I go over stuff for the races, say it's a Charlotte or a Martinsville or whatever, you can look at that track history, you can look at like tracks. Pocono, there isn't anything like it. So we got last year's 2 races. We had the first race, Kyle Busch won stage 1, Kurt Busch won stage 2. We know Kyle Larson was on his way to victory. Tire went down, end of the wall he goes. Teammate Alex Bowman gets the victory. Followed by Kyle Busch, William Byron, Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, Kurt Busch, Joey Logano, Kevin Harvick, Kyle Larson, Brad Keselowski. There was 8 cautions for 25 laps. The next day, this is the last 2 years we've done 2-day shows at Pocono. We had Martin Truex won stage 1, William Byron won stage 2, Kyle Busch won the race, followed by Kyle Larson, Brad Keselowski, Kevin Harvick, Bubba Wallace, Ryan Blaney, Alex Bowman, Ryan Preece, Tyler Reddick, and Joey Logano. We had 4 cautions for 15 laps. Kyle Busch averaged 1.5, his average finish in those 2 races. Alex Bowman averaged a 4th. Kyle Larson 5.5, Ryan Blaney 5.5, Kevin Harvick 6.0, Brad Keselowski 6.5, William Byron 7.5, Joey Logano 8.5, Denny Hamlin 9.0, Bubba Wallace 9.5, Tyler Reddick 10.0, and Kurt Busch 13.0. Toyota has won 7 of the last 10 Pocono races. 4 by Kyle Busch, 2 by Denny Hamlin, 1 by Martin Truex Jr. Now, I know there's been a lot of news this week, a lot of fan overreaction as for the playoffs, as for the Chicago street race, as for the penalties or lack of penalty, as for the newest one, the electrification of NASCAR. So when we get all done with our picks today, I'm going to cover those 4 topics as well. Just kind of throw my opinion out there. At Pocono for the last 6 races, Denny Hamlin's averaged 4.7 with 2 wins, Brad Keselowski 7.2, Kevin Harvick 7.2 with a win, William Byron 8.2, Kyle Busch 9.3 with 2 wins, Eric Almirola 10.3, Kyle Larson 10.5, Ryan Blaney 11.2. So what I've done is I've taken all those stats there, the average finish last year, the 2 races, the last 6 races at Pocono. I came up with my 4 picks who I think can win Pocono. Now, obviously, this year in the Cup Series has been very unique. I am 5-17 in the Cup Series, but I'm 99 in the Xfinity Series and 8-7 in the Truck Series. So we got 20 of 26 races down. We have 6 left in the regular season. 14 different winners. We got Pocono, we got the Indy Road Course, Michigan, Richmond, Watkins Glen, and then Daytona. Right now, Chase Elliott with 3 wins is leading the way. Ross Chastain 2 wins is second. Now, when I say the order, I'm talking about the overall points order, not playoff points. Sitting 3rd in points right now, plus 105 to the cut line, is Ryan Blaney. Sitting 4th overall in points, plus 68 to the cut line, is Martin Truex Jr. Now, for the regular season title, right now, Chase Elliott has a 67-point lead over Ross Chastain, 78 points over Ryan Blaney, and 115 over Martin Truex Jr. So with a 67-point lead, more than likely Chase Elliott, it looks like he's going to win a regular season title. But again, there's 6 races left. A lot could happen. You figure in a race, that's basically max points for a race and no points for somebody else. So Chase Elliott had to finish last. Ross Chastain would have to win both stages and the race, and he still wouldn't be leading, beat Elliott. Blaney would have to do that almost 2 weeks in a row. And the fact that Chase Elliott has got a first, a second, a first, and a second in the last 4 races, and he was disappointed with finishing second. Fifth in points right now, Kyle Larson with a win. Kyle Busch is 6th. Joe Logano 7th with 2 wins. Christopher Bell 8th with a win. Kevin Harvick is 9th, minus 68 to the cut line. Again, there's only 2 drivers in on points right now. 10th is William Byron with 2 wins. 11th is Alex Bowman with 1 win. 12th is Eric Almirola, minus 129 to the cut line. Austin Cindric, 13th with a win. 14th, Kurt Busch with a win. 15th, Daniel Suarez with a win. 16th, Tyler Reddick with a win. 17th, Chase Briscoe with a win. 18th, Eric Jones, minus 154 to the cut line. Denny Hamlin is 19th with 2 wins. Now, if we were to get to 17 winners, then it falls back on points. The first person or the lowest person with 1 win would be out. Right now, so if we have 14 winners, if, say, Ryan Blaney, Truex, and Harvick all win, that gets us to 17. The first person out would be Chase Briscoe. If we got to 18 winners, based on the way points are right now, Tyler Reddick would be the first one out. If we got to 19 winners, so Tyler Reddick is plus 9, or 9 points behind, or plus 9 to Chase Briscoe. Suarez is 14 points from Reddick. Kurt Busch is 20 points to plus 20 on Daniel Suarez. So right now, 14 winners. So if we add Blaney and Truex, that's 16. 17 for Harvick, 18 for Eric Almirola. That means Briscoe and Reddick would be out. Anybody below Chase Briscoe, so you got Austin Dillon sitting 20th, Michael McDowell 21st, Justin Haley 22nd, Bubba Wallace, Chris Buescher, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Cole Custer, Harrison Burton, Ty Dillon, Brad Keselowski, Todd Gilliland. That's the top 30. If any of those drivers win in the next couple weeks, and after Daytona we get to 17 winners, whoever that lowest single win driver is, they would be out. Now, you have to be top 30 in points with a win to qualify for the playoffs. So right now, 30th in points is Todd Gilliland. Brad Keselowski is 29th. They are tied. Brad is 29th because he had a higher finish the last race versus Todd Gilliland. Now, we all know Brad Keselowski got dinged 100 points earlier in this year at the I think it was Atlanta. If you give him those 100 points, he would fall into 23rd. So he would be literally just ahead of his teammate Chris Buescher. So the 6 and the 17 are kind of running about equal points. Corey LaJoie is minus 69. Cody Ware is minus 141. They are the only drivers that are eligible for the playoffs. Here's why they're eligible. You've got to run every race. Those are the only 32 drivers to win every race. And then you got to be in the top 30. So right now, Corey LaJoie and Cody Ware are not eligible. 69 and 141 behind the 30th place. So even with a win, they still more than likely would not be eligible. So we have 30 drivers that are eligible to win, that have been in every race. They just got to win to get in. My 4 picks to win at Pocono. I got Ryan Blaney because he has won there before. He did well. He ran well last year. He won it with the Wood Brothers, number 21, a couple of years back for his first career win. I got MTJ, Martin Truex Jr. He's won here in the past. He has a career 2 wins, averaged 14.7 in 32 starts. William Byron. He all-time at Poconos averaged 9.1. In the last 6 races, 8.2. Last year, 7.5. So each time he's getting a little bit better. And then Kyle Busch because of what he did last year. Those are my 4 picks. Now, if we get to 17 winners this year, they do not need to blow the playoffs up. Here's why. Did a little research. So what we know as the playoffs format currently in place with stage racing started in 2018. What we know of playoffs in NASCAR, the chase, started back in 2004. From 1984 through 2003, during that 20-year run, 8 times the champion won the title with at least 2 races left in the season. There were multiple times during Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s 7 championships where he won titles with multiple races left at the end of the regular season. Back then, we went to Phoenix and then Atlanta at the end of the season. He wrapped it up at Rockingham, which is before Phoenix, 1 year. He wrapped it up more than once before Phoenix. He wrapped it up 1 year. He won like 400, had like a 400-some point lead, which is like 3 races. You know, there was multiple drivers that done that. From 2004 through 2017, at 13 seasons, 5 times, if we had the old points, the champion would have won before the regular season finale. So, as early as 2020, if there was no chase, Kevin Harvick would have been champion. Harvick would have won the title 3 races left in the regular season. In 2017, if there was no playoffs, Martin Truex Jr. would have won 2nd race from the end of the season. In 2011, Carl Edwards would have won 2nd race from the regular season. So the fact that we've had this playoff system lets us not crown a champion until that last race of the year. Now, I wasn't a fan of the playoffs when I first started. I'll be 100% honest with that. I got to love it. I got stage racing. I got to love stage racing as well. Here's one unique thing that we missed out on. I know people like going, what if? What if this would happen? What if this would happen? You know, listen to XM Satellite Radio Speedway with Dave Moody and his Unfiltered, or whatever you want to call it, his profile thing. And he did an interview with Winston Kelly. He asked Winston Kelly, what do you think would happen? Have you ever thought about what if Tim Richmond wouldn't have passed away? What if Davey wouldn't have got killed? What if Adam Petty wouldn't have got killed? What if Dale Earnhardt Sr. wouldn't have gotten killed? He talked about Adam Petty and the Petty Enterprises, where that organization would more than likely be right now, where DEI would be right now if it wasn't for Dale getting killed. If it wasn't for playoffs, if we never had a playoff, if that something never existed, it's a cool fact I found. Richard Petty won his 7th championship in 1979. The champion in 1980, Dale Earnhardt Sr. Dale Earnhardt Sr. won his 7th championship in 1980. First one in 1980, his 7th one in 1994. 1 year later, Jeff Gordon in 1995 won his 1st championship. If it wasn't for the playoffs, Jeff Gordon would have been a 7-time champion. He would have won in 2004, 2007, and 2014. So Jeff Gordon would be our 7-time champion, not Jimmy Johnson. So the King, his last, backed up to the Intimidators first. The Intimidators last would have backed up to the next season, would have been the Rainbow Warriors first. So we would have done 7, 7, 7, boom, boom, boom. But we had playoffs. Jimmy Johnson, 7-time champion. Carl Edwards is not a 2-time champion. Kevin Harvick is not a 3-time champion. We can what if that all you want, but I feel having the playoffs the way they are gives you the opportunity to go to the last race of the year, Phoenix, have multiple people running for a championship. In 1992, Alan Kulwicki, with 5 races left, was minus 191, came back and won the title by 10 points. Without a playoff, or with the playoff, that wouldn't have happened because the points would have reset. So you wouldn't have that dramaticness. You wouldn't have these drivers win these titles with 2 and 3 races left. You can't do that these days. So I think the playoffs should stay. I don't think we should modify them. This is the first year we've ever had this many winners. I feel that if we go try to mess with it, because what happens now, we have 17 winners. Now points matter. Now whoever that last couple drivers are, their overall points matter. So everybody we want consistency to pay off. I can guarantee Kyle Larson's in the playoffs. I can guarantee Kyle Busch is in the playoffs no matter how many winners we have. Christopher Bell is in the playoffs. Alex Bowman is in the playoffs. because we don't have enough races left to eliminate those. So you got drivers that are already locked in. Yeah, you got a few drivers that are on the bubble. So we have 14 different winners with 6 races left. So the max we could have is 20 different winners this year. So let's look at this list. Ryan Blaney, Martin Truex Jr., Kevin Harvick, Eric Almirola, Eric Jones. Those are 5 that are in the top. They're the top 18, and Denny Hamlin's 19th. So if we get a 6th winner, they would be from the 20th in points down. So they would be probably the first one out. So it's almost like you win, you're in, unless you're not, because you don't have enough points, and then if you get enough points, you're back in. So we almost have different cut lines to look at. We have the point cut line, because there's 2 people eligible for points. We also, what if we get to 16 winners? Now we got to look at whoever that driver is on the bubble with the win but not enough points. So playoffs, I think they should stay. There's no reason to change them. It's working. I love it. Keep going with it. The Chicago Street Race. Yes, we're taking away Road America. I remember a time people complained about too many road courses. But yet, they're begging to keep another road course on. Why couldn't they take another race from another track? Because y'all would have complained because they added another road course. You know, it's a street course. I think what NASCAR needs to do is have a group of 4 or 5 tracks. You just rotate them. So you have, like this year, so in 2023 will be the first year for the Chicago Street Race. It'll be the 2nd year for Worldwide Technology. It'll be the 3rd year for COTA. So COTA pulls out of the rotation, something else takes COTA's spot. So in 24, it'll be the 1st year for COTA, the 2nd year for the street course, the 3rd year at Worldwide Technology. The next year, you pull Worldwide Technology out, you insert a new track. So you always have a 3-year plan. You go to a track 3 years, it comes out, and it goes back to the line, follows up, back to the line, follows up. That way you're keeping it fresh and rotating. So maybe Chicago comes out after 3 years. And then when it gets around to where the Chicago would be at, maybe we go to Long Beach, maybe we go to St. Petersburg, maybe we go to New York, Baltimore, you know, whatever, and kind of fit in like that way. We still have the standard tracks we have now, but we also have some new things. And, you know, I think the street course is a good idea. Here's why. You get young fans, because you know, we all know the viewership of NASCAR races is an older fan base. You get a young kid, let's say 8, 10, 12 years old. You go to Chicago, say after the race happens, the weekend after. Maybe you live in Chicago, and you're walking downtown by the fountain. As we've seen the course on Twitter, the way the course comes out there, turn 12 down the start-finish line. You can literally walk across the street right where the track's going to be. So say, for instance, and I use this example when I called the morning drive here today, say Joey Logano takes out AJ Allmendinger and come off turn 12. You can literally go to the street and stand in this spot where that happened. Logano wins the race. He does burnouts. You can literally go stand in the same spot he was standing in for the interview. Even though you're in the middle of the street, you might get hit by a car, but still, you can stand in the middle of the street. Can you go to Daytona and stand in turn 4 where in the infield where Dale lost his life? I think you can do a tour of the track, but I don't know if you can go walk on the track like that. Can you go to, you know, insert track name here, insert what happened, and go stand in that spot? So I think it brings more eyes to the sport, because it's going to be a street fair with a race, by the way, happening. I think it's going to help whatever city it's in. It's going to help with economy and everything, bring millions of dollars to the economy. I think it's a good thing. As for the electrification of NASCAR, I like the idea. We all know Jim France a few months ago, late last year, said by 2024, NASCAR will have some type of electrification. That is where the car industry is going. It's electric. I've actually looked at electric already. You know, someday we're all going to be driving electric cars. We all know this. So I think doing like an SRX type series, 6 to 8 races, testing it, perfect. You can use Xfinity drivers, truck drivers, ARCA drivers, whoever you want to. I think you just basically, each race you do a little longer, a little longer. That also might be the time where NASCAR might do some type of timed racing, because that way, if say these batteries on a race car last 3.5 hours, you do a 3-hour race, all you do is change tires. So you have 9-second pit stops, 8-second pit stops, because they'll have the single lug probably. So you don't have to worry about fueling the car. So I think that's coming. I would say for the Cup Series, at the very earliest, I would guess be 26, maybe 25, 26, because you figure they're going to debut at 23 at the Busch Clash. 24 will probably have some type of 6 to 8 race season. So to actually be longer than that, I would say 25. I mean, Cup Series, you're probably looking at 26 at least, maybe. If they were, to me, that should be what replaces the next gen for Xfinity, would be electric, and then eventually get the Cup. But for the penalties this week, Christopher Bell last week was not penalized for a loose wheel, but Austin Cindric was. What's the difference? They're both on pit road, yes, but if you look at the Christopher Bell one, he pulled out one pit stall. There was one driver sitting there. Bubba Wallace was in his pits. When the wheel came off, Christopher Bell stopped. The wheel was on the right-hand side of Bell's car. Bubba Wallace pulled out. The wheel came across in front of Bell's car and rolled off to an empty pit stall. That wheel went by no other car. On Austin Cindric's tire came off. He was 5 pit stalls down, but there was a bunch of cars around him. When the wheel came off, there was a bunch of cars that could have hit it. I agree with what they did. No penalty on Bell, if that's what we're going to go, and then we penalize Cindric. I know everybody's throwing a fit over, it's a gray area, it needs to be black or white. Now, there's also another rule that has been a gray area for NASCAR for a long time. Intentionally wrecking another vehicle, whether or not that vehicle is removed from competition as a result. So, Section C, members' actions that can result in the loss of 25 to 50 driver and team owner points, and/or $25 to $50,000 fine, and/or 1 race suspension, indefinite suspension, or termination. Physical confrontation with a NASCAR official, media member, fan, etc. Member-to-member confrontation with physical violence and other violent, such as significant threat and/or abuse, endangerment. Attempting to manipulate the outcome of a race or championship. Intentionally wrecking other vehicle, whether or not that vehicle is removed from competition as a result. Any action deemed to compromise the safety of an event or otherwise pose a dangerous risk to the safety of competitors, officials, spectators, or others. I read this because Noah Gragson, Sage Karam, Road America. We all know what happened. He got 30-point fine, 30-point penalty over it, $35,000 fine or whatever it was. Are you telling me at New Hampshire, when Austin Dillon, Brad Keselowski got together, intentionally wrecking another vehicle, whether or not the vehicle is removed from competition as a result? You're telling me when Brad Keselowski turned left into Austin Dillon, it did not fit that? Come on. We talk about gray area with these tires. There's a gray area right there too. Noah Gragson does it. Junior Motorsports needs to fire him. Sponsors need to leave him. He doesn't even need to be racing again because it caused a big pileup. Brad Keselowski does it, and it's not even talked about. And the only difference is Keselowski and Dillon did not cause a big wreck, but Noah and Sage did. I don't see the difference, to be honest with you, because there's not a caution. It's even worse. What if there would have been NASCAR officials on the track picking up debris? What if somebody else would have got involved? Then would it be a penalty? So if there's going to be a gray area with tires, I'm fine with that. As long as what we saw from Christopher Bell, Austin Cindric, the difference is clear like it was there. But that's just my opinion on some of the NASCAR news of the week. So that's going to wrap up the M&M Fan Appreciation 400 preview, along with some other news. Again, my 4 picks: Kyle Busch, William Byron, Martin Truex Jr., Ryan Blaney. As always, thanks for watching the Robert Sports Show, and don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports show content.